Who is the author of Jane Eyre? A. Charles Dickens. B. Thomas Hardy. C. Charlotte Brontë. D. George Eliot. Answer: C. Charlotte Brontë. Which novel by Charles Dickens features the character Ebenezer Scrooge? A. Great Expectations. B. Oliver Twist. C. David Copperfield. D. A Christmas Carol. Answer: D. A Christmas Carol. What is the primary theme of Thomas Hardy's novel, Tess of the D'Urbervilles? A. Industrial Revolution. B. Rural life and social criticism. C. Scientific discoveries. D. Political intrigue. Answer: B. Rural life and social criticism. In which novel do we encounter the character Pip? A. Hard Times. B. The Mill on the Floss. C. Great Expectations. D. Middlemarch. Answer: C. Great Expectations. Which poet laureate of the Victorian era wrote In Memoriam AHH? A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. B. Robert Browning. C. Matthew Arnold. D. Gerard Manley Hopkins. Answer: A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Which work by George Eliot is set in the fictional village of Hayslope? A. Middlemarch. B. Silas Marner. C. Adam Bede. D. Daniel Deronda. Answer: C. Adam Bede. What is the name of the fictional town in Middlemarch? A. Meryton. B. Hayslope. C. Middlemarch. D. Casterbridge. Answer: C. Middlemarch. Which Victorian novel opens with the line, "It was the best of times, it was the worst of times"? A. Bleak House. B. A Tale of Two Cities. C. Vanity Fair. D. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Answer: B. A Tale of Two Cities. Who wrote The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? A. Arthur Conan Doyle. B. Robert Louis Stevenson. C. Bram Stoker. D. H. G. Wells. Answer: B. Robert Louis Stevenson. Which character is not from a novel by Thomas Hardy? A. Bathsheba Everdeen. B. Gabriel Oak. C. Eustacia Vi. D. Becky Sharp. Answer: D. Becky Sharp. Becky Sharp is a character from William Makepeace Thackeray's Vanity Fair. Certainly. Here are more multiple-choice questions related to Victorian period literature with their answers. Which novel by Elizabeth Gaskell deals with the struggles of the working class in an industrial town? A. Cranford. B. North and South. C. Wives and Daughters. D. Mary Barton. Answer: B. North and South. Who wrote the poem, My Last Duchess? A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. B. Robert Browning. C. Matthew Arnold. D. Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Answer: B. Robert Browning. Which Victorian novel features the character Dorothea Brooke? A. Vanity Fair. B. The Return of the Native. C. Middlemarch. D. The Woman in White. Answer: C. Middlemarch. Who wrote the novel Wuthering Heights? A. Emily Brontë. B. Anne Brontë. C. Charlotte Brontë. D. George Eliot. Answer: A. Emily Brontë. Which novel by Thomas Hardy features the character Michael Henchard? A. Jude the Obscure. B. The Mayor of Casterbridge. C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. D. Far from the Madding Crowd. Answer: B. The Mayor of Casterbridge. Who is the author of The Woman White? A. Mary Shelley. B. Wilkie Collins. C. Bram Stoker. D. H. G. Wells. Answer: B. Wilkie Collins. Which Victorian poet wrote Dover Beach? A. Robert Browning. B. Alfred Lord Tennyson. C. Matthew Arnold. D. Christina Rossetti. Answer: C. Matthew Arnold. Who is the author of Silas Marner? A. George Eliot. B. Charles Dickens. C. Elizabeth Gaskell. D. Thomas Hardy. Answer: A. George Eliot. Which novel by Charles Dickens tells the story of an orphan who is mistreated by his relatives and eventually finds a new family? A. Oliver Twist. B. David Copperfield. C. Bleak House. D. Great Expectations. Answer: B. David Copperfield. Who wrote the poem The Goblin Market? A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. B. Alfred Lord Tennyson. C. Christina Rossetti. D. Robert Browning. Answer: C. Christina Rossetti. Which Victorian novel features the characters Lucy Snow and M. Paul Emanuel? A. Shirley. B. Villette. C. Jane Eyre. D. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. Answer: B. Villette. Who wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray? A. Oscar Wilde. B. Henry James. C. Thomas Hardy. D. William Makepeace Thackeray. Answer. A. Oscar Wilde. Which character from Charles Dickens' Bleak House is known for her dedication to charitable work? A. Esther Summerson. B. Lady Dedlock. C. Miss Havisham. D. Ada Clare. Answer. A. Esther Summerson. Which novel by Anthony Trollope is the first in the Chronicles of Barsetshire series? A. The Warden. B. Barchester Towers. C. Dr. Thorne. D. Framley Parsonage. Answer. A. The Warden. Who wrote The Time Machine? A. Jules Verne. B. H. G. Wells. C. Robert Louis Stevenson. D. Mary Shelley. Answer. B. H. G. Wells. Which Victorian writer is famous for the novel Dracula? A. Mary Shelley. B. Bram Stoker. C. H. G. Wells. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer. B. Bram Stoker. In which novel does the character Becky Sharp appear? A. Vanity Fair. B. The Way We Live Now. C. The Eustace Diamonds. D. Barchester Towers. Answer. A. Vanity Fair. Who wrote Far from the Madding Crowd? A. Charles Dickens. B. Thomas Hardy. C. George Eliot. D. Elizabeth Gaskell. Answer. B. Thomas Hardy. Which Victorian poet wrote The Charge of the Light Brigade? A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. B. Robert Browning. C. William Wordsworth. D. Christina Rossetti. Answer. A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Who is the author of Jane Eyre? A. Emily Bronte. B. Anne Bronte. C. Charlotte Bronte. D. George Eliot. Answer. C. Charlotte Bronte. Certainly. Here are more multiple choice questions related to Victorian period literature with their answers. Which novel by Elizabeth Gaskell is set in the fictional town of Cranford? A. Mary Barton. B. Ruth. C. Cranford. D. North and South. Answer. C. Cranford. Who is the protagonist in Thomas Hardy's Jude the Obscure? A. Jude Folly. B. Michael Henchard. C. Gabriel Oak. D. Clym Yawbright. Answer. A. Jude Folly. Which novel by Charles Dickens features the character Miss Havisham? A. David Copperfield. B. Great Expectations. C. Oliver Twist. D. A Tale of Two Cities. Answer. B. Great Expectations. Who wrote the poem The Lady of Shalott? A. Robert Browning. B. Matthew Arnold. C. Alfred Lord Tennyson. D. Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Answer. C. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Which Victorian novel features the character Maggie Tulliver? A. Middlemarch. B. The Mill on the Floss. C. Silas Marner. D. Daniel Deronda. Answer. B. The Mill on the Floss. Who wrote The Tenant of Wildfell Hall? A. Charlotte Bronte. B. Emily Bronte. C. Anne Bronte. D. George Eliot. Answer. C. Anne Bronte. Which Victorian novel features the character Gabriel Betteredge? A. The Moonstone. B. The Woman in White. C. Dracula. D. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Answer. A. The Moonstone. Who is the author of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes? A. Wilkie Collins. B. Arthur Conan Doyle. C. H. G. Wells. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer. B. Arthur Conan Doyle. Which poem by Matthew Arnold reflects on the changing nature of faith and society? A. Dover Beach. B. The Scholar Gypsy. C. Sohrab and Rustum. D. Thyrsis. Answer. A. Dover Beach. Who wrote The Woodlanders? A. Thomas Hardy. B. Charles Dickens. C. George Eliot. D. Elizabeth Gaskell. Answer. A. Thomas Hardy. Which novel by George Eliot centers on the character of Tom and Maggie Tulliver? A. Middlemarch. B. Adam Bede. C. The Mill on the Floss. D. Silas Marner. Answer. C. The Mill on the Floss. Who is the author of Barchester Towers? A. Charles Dickens. B. Anthony Trollope. C. Thomas Hardy. D. George Meredith. Answer. B. Anthony Trollope. Which Victorian novelist wrote Vanity Fair? A. William Makepeace Thackeray. B. Charles Dickens. C. George Eliot. D. Thomas Hardy. Answer. A. William Makepeace Thackeray. Who wrote the poem Goblin Market? A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. B. Christina Rossetti. C. Robert Browning. D. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Answer. B. Christina Rossetti. Which Victorian writer created the character of Alan Quatermain? A. H. Rider Haggard. B. Rudyard Kipling. C. Arthur Conan Doyle. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer. A. H. Rider Haggard. Which Victorian novel features the character Bathsheba Everdene? A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. B. Far from the Madding Crowd. C. The Mayor of Casterbridge. D. Jude the Obscure. Answer. B. Far from the Madding Crowd. Who wrote the novella, The Turn of the Screw? A. Henry James. B. Robert Louis Stevenson. C. Wilkie Collins. D. H. G. Wells. Answer. A. Henry James. Which Victorian novel features the characters Lady Didlock and Mr. Tulkinghorn? A. Bleak House. B. David Copperfield. C. Oliver Twist. D. Great Expectations. Answer. A. Bleak House. Who wrote The Hound of the Baskervilles? A. Wilkie Collins. B. Arthur Conan Doyle. C. H. G. Wells. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer. B. Arthur Conan Doyle. Which Victorian writer is known for the novel, The Scarlet Letter? A. Nathaniel Hawthorne. B. Charles Dickens. C. Thomas Hardy. D. George Eliot. Answer. A. Nathaniel Hawthorne. Who wrote Jude the Obscure? A. Charles Dickens. B. George Eliot. C. Thomas Hardy. D. Elizabeth Gaskell. Answer. C. Thomas Hardy. Which Victorian poet wrote Aurora Leigh? A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. B. Christina Rossetti. C. Alfred Lord Tennyson. D. Robert Browning. Answer. A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Which Victorian novel is set in the fictional county of Wessex? A. Middlemarch. B. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. C. Jane Eyre. D. Vanity Fair. Answer. B. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Who wrote David Copperfield? A. Charles Dickens. B. Anthony Trollope. C. George Eliot. D. Thomas Hardy. Answer. A. Charles Dickens. Which Victorian novelist created the character Becky Sharp? A. George Eliot. B. Elizabeth Gaskell. C. William Makepeace Thackeray. D. Anthony Trollope. Answer. C. William Makepeace Thackeray. Which novel by Thomas Hardy was first published anonymously in 1872 and features the characters Gabriel Oak and Bathsheba Everdene? A. The Return of the Native. B. The Mayor of Casterbridge. C. Far from the Madding Crowd. D. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Answer. C. Far from the Madding Crowd. In which novel by George Eliot, published in 1861, does the protagonist, Silas Marner, find redemption through adopting an orphan child? A. Adam Bede. B. Middlemarch. C. Daniel Deronda. D. Silas Marner. Answer. D. Silas Marner. Which character, created by Charles Dickens, is known for his dual life as a prosperous lawyer and as a benefactor of the poor, featured in the novel, Bleak House? A. Mr. Jarndyce. B. Mr. Tulkinghorn. C. Mr. Guppy. D. Mr. Veeholes. Answer. A. Mr. Jarndyce. Who is the author of the 1866 novel, Felix Holt, the Radical, which explores the social and political changes in a small English town? A. Thomas Hardy. B. George Eliot. C. Elizabeth Gaskell. D. Anthony Trollope. Answer. B. George Eliot. Which character from Anthony Trollope's Barchester Towers, published in 1857, is a reform-minded clergyman who clashes with the conservative Archdeacon Grantley? A. Mr. Harding. B. Mr. Slope. C. Drive, Prody. D. Mr. Arabin. Answer. B. Mr. Slope. Which novel by Charlotte Brontë, published under the pen name Currer Bell in 1847, features the characters Edward Rochester and Bertha Mason? A. Villette. B. The Professor. C. Shirley. D. Jane Eyre. Answer. D. Jane Eyre. Who wrote the 1864 novel, Our Mutual Friend, featuring the character John Harmon, who returns to London after being presumed dead? A. Charles Dickens. B. Wilkie Collins. C. Anthony Trollope. D. Thomas Hardy. Answer. A. Charles Dickens. Which character in The Woman in White, published in 1859, is known for her sharp intelligence and resourcefulness, often seen as the heroine of the novel? A. Laura Fairley. B. Marion Halcombe. C. Anne Catherick. D. Count Fosco. Answer. B. Marion Halcombe. Which character from Anthony Trollope's Barchester Towers, published in 1857, is a reform-minded clergyman who clashes with the conservative Archdeacon Grantley? A. Mr. Harding. B. Mr. Slope. C. Drive, Prody. D. Mr. Arabin. Answer: B. Mr. Slope. Which novel by Charlotte Brontë, published under the pen name Currer Bell in 1847, features the characters Edward Rochester and Bertha Mason? A. Villette. B. The Professor. C. Shirley. D. Jane Eyre. Answer: D. Jane Eyre. Who wrote the 1864 novel, Our Mutual Friend, featuring the character John Harmon, who returns to London after being presumed dead? A. Charles Dickens. B. Wilkie Collins. C. Anthony Trollope. D. Thomas Hardy. Answer: A. Charles Dickens. Which character in The Woman in White, published in 1859, is known for her sharp intelligence and resourcefulness, often seen as the heroine of the novel? A. Laura Fairley. B. Marian Halcombe. C. Anne Catherick. D. Count Fosco. Answer: B. Marian Halcombe. Which novel by William Makepeace Thackeray, first published in serial form between 1847 and 1848, is subtitled A Novel Without a Hero? A. Vanity Fair. B. Pendennis. C. The History of Henry Esmond. D. The Newcomes. Answer: A. Vanity Fair. Who is the author of The Moonstone, often considered the first detective novel in the English language, published in 1868? A. Arthur Conan Doyle. B. Wilkie Collins. C. Charles Dickens. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer: B. Wilkie Collins. In which novel by Elizabeth Gaskell, first published in 1853, does the character Margaret Hale move from rural southern England to the industrial northern town of Milton? A. Cranford. B. North and South. C. Wives and Daughters. D. Mary Barton. Answer: B. North and South. Which character in George Eliot's Middlemarch, published in 1871-72, is an idealistic young doctor who marries the wrong woman, leading to personal and professional struggles? A. Tertius Lydgate. B. Will Ladyswaff. C. Edward Casaubon. D. Fred Vincy. Answer: A. Tertius Lydgate. Who wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray, a novel exploring themes of aestheticism and moral corruption, first published in 1890? A. Oscar Wilde. B. Henry James. C. George Gissing. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer: A. Oscar Wilde. Which novel by Emily Brontë, published in 1847, features the characters Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw, and explores themes of passion and revenge? A. Agnes Grey. B. Jane Eyre. C. Wuthering Heights. D. Shirley. Answer: C. Wuthering Heights. In which Thomas Hardy novel, published in 1891, does the character Tess Durbeyfield suffer from a series of tragic events, highlighting the harshness of rural life? A. The Mayor of Casterbridge. B. Far from the Madding Crowd. C. Jude the Obscure. D. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Answer: D. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Who is the author of The Time Machine, a science fiction novel published in 1895 that explores themes of time travel and social evolution? A. Jules Verne. B. H. G. Wells. C. Robert Louis Stevenson. D. Arthur Conan Doyle. Answer: B. H. G. Wells. Which novel by Charles Dickens, first serialized in 1860-61, features the characters Pip, Estella, and Miss Havisham? A. Great Expectations. B. David Copperfield. C. Bleak House. D. Oliver Twist. Answer: A. Great Expectations. Which poet, known for his dramatic monologues, wrote The Ring and the Book, a narrative poem published in 1868-69? A. Alfred Lord Tennyson. B. Robert Browning. C. Matthew Arnold. D. Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Answer: B. Robert Browning. Which Victorian writer authored Dracula, a Gothic horror novel published in 1897, featuring the infamous vampire Count Dracula? A. Mary Shelley. B. Bram Stoker. C. H. G. Wells. D. Robert Louis Stevenson. Answer: B. Bram Stoker. In which novel by Anthony Trollope, published in 1864-67, does the character Plantagenet Palliser rise to prominence within British politics? A. The Warden. B. Phineas Finn. C. The Prime Minister. D. Can You Forgive Her? Answer: D. Can You Forgive Her? Who wrote The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, a novel published in 1848 that is considered one of the first feminist novels? A. Charlotte Brontë. B. Emily Brontë. C. Anne Brontë. D. George Eliot. Answer: C. Anne Brontë. Which Victorian poet wrote the long narrative poem, Aurora Leigh, published in 1856, that addresses issues of gender and artistic expression? A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. B. Christina Rossetti. C. Robert Browning. D. Alfred Lord Tennyson. Answer: A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Who is the author of A Tale of Two Cities, a historical novel set during the French Revolution and first published in 1859? A. Charles Dickens. B. Thomas Hardy. C. George Eliot. D. William Makepeace Thackeray. Answer: A. Charles Dickens. Which character in Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone, published in 1868, is a loyal servant who aids in the investigation of a stolen diamond? A. Gabriel Betteredge. B. Franklin Blake. C. Sergeant Cuff. D. Rachel Verinder. Answer: A. Gabriel Betteredge. Who wrote The Way We Live Now, a satirical novel published in 1875 that critiques the greed and corruption of Victorian society? A. Charles Dickens. B. Anthony Trollope. C. Thomas Hardy. D. George Eliot. Answer: B. Anthony Trollope. Related to chronology of author book published. ChatGPT. Sure, here are multiple choice questions focusing on the chronology of authors and their books published during the Victorian period. Which of the following novels by Charles Dickens was published first? A. Bleak House. B. David Copperfield. C. Oliver Twist. D. Great Expectations. Answer: C. Oliver Twist, published in 1837-39. Which of the following novels by Thomas Hardy was published last? A. The Return of the Native. B. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. C. Jude the Obscure. D. Far from the Madding Crowd. Answer: C. Jude the Obscure, published in 1895. Which novel by George Eliot was published first? A. Middlemarch. B. Daniel Deronda. C. Silas Marner. D. Adam Bede. Answer: D. Adam Bede, published in 1859. Which of the following novels by the Brontë sisters was published first? A. Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. B. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. C. Agnes Grey by Anne Brontë. D. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Brontë. Answer: B. Jane Eyre, published in 1847. Which of the following novels by Wilkie Collins was published first? A. The Woman in White. B. No Name. C. Armadale. D. The Moonstone. Answer: A. The Woman in White, published in 1859. Which novel by Elizabeth Gaskell was published first? A. Cranford. B. Mary Barton. C. North and South. D. Wives and Daughters. Answer: B. Mary Barton, published in 1848. Which novel by Anthony Trollope was published first? A. The Warden. B. Barchester Towers. C. Framley Parsonage. D. Dr. Thorne. Answer: A. The Warden, published in 1855. Which of the following works by Alfred Lord Tennyson was published first? A. In Memoriam AHH. B. The Lady of Shalott. C. Idylls of the King. D. Maud. Answer: B. The Lady of Shalott, published in 1833. Which novel by Robert Louis Stevenson was published first? A. Treasure Island. B. Kidnapped. C. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. D. The Black Arrow. Answer: A. Treasure Island, published in 1883. Which novel by George Meredith was published first? A. The Ordeal of Richard Feverel. B. Diana of the Crossways. C. The Egoist. D. Beauchamp's Career. Answer: A. The Ordeal of Richard Feverel, published in 1859. Which of the following novels by Charles Dickens was published last? A. Tale of Two Cities. B. Hard Times. C. Our Mutual Friend. D. The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Answer: D. The Mystery of Edwin Drood, published in 1870. Which of the following novels by Thomas Hardy was published first? A. Under the Greenwood Tree. B. The Mayor of Casterbridge. C. The Return of the Native. D. A Pair of Blue Eyes. Answer: A. Under the Greenwood Tree, published in 1872. Which novel by George Eliot was published last? A. Adam Bede. B. The Mill on the Floss. C. Felix Holt, The Radical. D. Daniel Deronda. Answer. D. Daniel Deronda, published in 1876. Which of the following works by Elizabeth Barrett Browning was published first? A. Aurora Leigh. B. Sonnets from the Portuguese. C. The Seraphim and Other Poems. D. Casa Guidi Windows. Answer. C. The Seraphim and Other Poems, published in 1838. Which of the following novels by Anthony Trollope was published last? A. The Warden. B. The Way We Live Now. C. The Last Chronicle of Barset. D. Can You Forgive Her? Answer. B. The Way We Live Now, published in 1875. Which novel by William Makepeace Thackeray was published first? A. Vanity Fair. B. Pendennis. C. The History of Henry Esmond. D. The Virginians. Answer. A. Vanity Fair, published in 1847-48. Which of the following works by Oscar Wilde was published first? A. The Picture of Dorian Gray. B. The Importance of Being Earnest. C. Lady Windermere's Fan. D. An Ideal Husband. Answer. A. The Picture of Dorian Gray, published in 1890. Which of the following novels by Charles Dickens was published first? A. David Copperfield. B. Bleak House. C. Little Dorrit. D. Hard Times. Answer. A. David Copperfield, published in 1849-50. Which of the following novels by Thomas Hardy was published last? A. The Mayor of Casterbridge. B. The Woodlanders. C. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. D. Jude the Obscure. Answer. D. Jude the Obscure, published in 1895. Which of the following works by Matthew Arnold was published first? A. Culture and Anarchy. B. Dover Beach. C. Thyrsis. D. The Scholar Gypsy. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. Dover Beach, published in 1867. These questions should challenge your knowledge of Victorian literature, focusing on the chronological order of authors and their works. Related to poetry, drama, essay, feminist works with complicated questions. ChatGPT. Sure, here are some challenging multiple-choice questions focusing on poetry, drama, essays, and feminist works. Poetry. Which of the following works by Alfred Lord Tennyson explores themes of art, love, and death and features the story of a lady who is cursed to weave a tapestry and view the world through a mirror? A. In Memoriam AHH. B. The Lady of Shalott. C. Ulysses. D. Maud. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. The Lady of Shalott. In Robert Browning's poem, My Last Duchess, what is the Duke's primary complaint about his last Duchess? A. She was unfaithful. B. She smiled too much at others. C. She neglected her duties. D. She spent too much money. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. She smiled too much at others. Which poem by Christina Rossetti explores themes of temptation, sacrifice, and sisterhood, featuring the lines, "For there is no friend like a sister in calm or stormy weather"? A. Remember. B. Goblin Market. C. In the Bleak Midwinter. D. A Birthday. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. Goblin Market. Drama. Which of the following plays by Oscar Wilde satirizes the social conventions of late Victorian London and features characters such as Jack Worthing and Algernon Moncrief? A. Lady Windermere's Fan. B. A Woman of Number Importance. C. The Importance of Being Earnest. D. An Ideal Husband. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. C. The Importance of Being Earnest. In George Bernard Shaw's play, Pygmalion, which character represents Shaw's critique of the class system through their transformation from a flower girl to a duchess? A. Eliza Doolittle. B. Clara Ainsford Hill. C. Mrs. Higgins. D. Freddie Ainsford Hill. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. A. Eliza Doolittle. Which play by Henrik Ibsen is considered a landmark in modern drama for its realistic portrayal of the struggles and conflicts within a marriage, featuring the character Nora Helmer? A. Hedda Gabler. B. Ghosts. C. A Doll's House. D. The Wild Duck. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. C. A Doll's House. Essays. Which essay by John Stuart Mill advocates for the equality of women and argues against the legal and social inequalities imposed on women by the law and society? A. On Liberty. B. Utilitarianism. C. The Subjection of Women. D. Considerations on Representative Government. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. C. The Subjection of Women. Which essay by Matthew Arnold argues that culture is the pursuit of perfection and criticizes the materialism and philistinism of Victorian society? A. Culture and Anarchy. B. Essays in Criticism. C. Literature and Dogma. D. The Study of Poetry. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. A. Culture and Anarchy. Thomas Carlyle's essay, Signs of the Times, critiques the rise of mechanization and industrialization. What term does Carlyle use to describe this phenomenon? A. The machine age. B. The mechanical age. C. The industrial revolution. D. The age of progress. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. The mechanical age. Feminist works. Which work by Mary Wollstonecraft is considered one of the earliest works of feminist philosophy, advocating for the education and emancipation of women? A. Vindication of the Rights of Woman. B. The Female Reader. C. Thoughts on the Education of Daughters. D. Maria, or the Wrongs of Woman. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. A. Vindication of the Rights of Woman. Which novel by Charlotte Perkins Gilman is an early feminist work that critiques the traditional roles of women in society and features a protagonist who suffers from postpartum depression and is subjected to the rest cure? A. Herland. B. The Home. C. The Yellow Wallpaper. D. Women and Economics. Mathematica. Copy code. Answer. C. The Yellow Wallpaper. Which work by Virginia Woolf explores the challenges faced by women writers and includes the famous assertion that a woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction? A. To the Lighthouse. B. Mrs. Dalloway. C. A Room o' Phone's Own. D. Orlando. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. C. A Room of One's Own. Which feminist text by Simone de Beauvoir is considered a foundational work in feminist theory and existentialism, and includes the famous statement, "One is not born, but rather becomes, a woman"? A. The Second Sex. B. The Ethics of Ambiguity. C. She Kamato Stay. D. The Mandarins. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. A. The Second Sex. Which novel by Kate Chopin is considered an important early feminist text and explores themes of female autonomy and self-discovery, featuring the character Edna Pontellier? A. The Awakening. B. At Fault. C. The Story of an Hour. D. Bayou Folk. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. A. The Awakening. Which poem by Adrienne Rich critiques the institution of marriage and explores themes of female identity and independence? A. Diving into the Wreck. B. Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. C. Snapshots of a Daughter-in-Law. D. The Fact of a Doorframe. Makefile. Copy code. Answer. B. Aunt Jennifer's Tigers. These questions should challenge your understanding of Victorian poetry, drama, essays, and feminist works.